Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Health Talk. Today I have a very special show. I have Doug Russell, who is one of my all-time favorite people. He used to have a restaurant, and now he's going into his own business. And Eat Your Way to a Healthy Day, or Eat Your Way Healthy, is is a personal culinary service.
Correct.
And I usually really love your restaurant. You used to help me with my little charity, and you always donate bread, and you helped a lot of people. So I wanted to say thank you.
You're very welcome.
You've been very nice to the community. Now you've decided to go into being a personal shopper. A personal cook, baker, and we know you make the best bread in the world. And how do you pronounce that? Paleo coach?
Paleo. Mm-hmm.
And the paleo diet, I tried to check out the computer today, and they kind of assumed that I already knew what the diet was, and I don't. But one thing I got out of it was something to do with eating like a caveman. That was like the simplistic one I could pick up. And that you should try it for 30 days, and then before you make up your mind on its welfare or not.
Correct.
And you were a coach of this.
Well, that was just a term that I put on my card, basically, because if people are interested, paleo is really not a diet so much as it is a lifestyle change. The effects of changing your lifestyle have similar results of being on a diet, weight loss being one of them, but that's not the primary purpose. The primary purpose of eating a paleo way of life is to allow your body to heal itself. So it's got multiple facets, I guess, as far as the benefits. And weight loss, obesity is a disease, and so that's one of the health benefits of eating that way.
Well, a couple things from the video I watched was that the people who did a lot of exercise were doing better with little bits of exercise, smart amounts of exercise than they were, and types of meat you eat, grass-fed versus the way that the meat is prepared, and then types of something to do with grain.
There's I guess a variety of levels that you can do with paleo, and as what I'm looking to do is basically just educate people and let them kind of pick on their own. My wife and I started doing this about 2 years ago, and so I'm still in a learning process myself. The basics of it, very simplistic, is no grains, no refined sugar, and no dairy are the three major no-nos. You specifically, gluten is something that a lot of people are intolerant to gluten. A lot of people are very allergic to gluten in our society right now, and part of the reason, again, and this is just from the things that I've read, is that the grains that we are eating today have been bioengineered and things done to them so that our bodies don't digest them the same as they did many years ago when wheat was,
Well, actually, it gets kind of scary. Some of the things
it does.
Well, I happened to do a tour of the Aces ballpark with their general manager, and he was very proud that they're gluten-free.
Cool.
So that's, people are getting...
Well, it's very prominent. It's kind of the thing right now, I guess, is one thing. But when you experience the change, like I said, my wife started just on the recommendation of a friend of hers who is a CrossFit trainer, with those three basics: know this, know this, know this. And I saw the results happening, but I had a really hard time with the no grains, going, it doesn't seem healthy. And so this same CrossFit coach turned me on to the book and it was one of the guys that you looked at, Rob Wolf, called The Paleo Solution. And I read the book, and he explained, he's actually a researcher turned personal trainer and now a lecturer, but he made sense of why it was okay and how you could get carbohydrates and other nutrients that you needed without having it through the grains.
Well, from watching part of his video today, he was down to like 140 pounds, and he was still putting in all the calories, and he just couldn't figure out why he was losing weight and losing calories. And he actually got pretty mad at the medical fields and kind of came across this area the same way. But from watching you for, 6 years, maybe more, on a weekly basis coming in for bread for the charities, you and your wife both lost weight, gained energy, which is hard to believe that you were doing any more than you were doing. You were working a lot of long days.
A lot of hours.
And you were also, before this diet, you were working out a lot. And
yes.
Sometimes, and I go there like at the end of these shoots and get you at the end of the day, you were exhausted. And one thing I noticed from the last 2 years, you've improved your energy. You're, no offense, but a lot more friendly.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Nothing against you. I just know how hard you work.
Sure.
And some days I could tell by your facial expression I wouldn't talk to you because
Yeah.
I just knew you were exhausted.
Exhaustion, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, 16-hour days will do that to you. So.
Well, I know I've ran supermarkets and had bakeries in them, and when you're a one-man army, it's very tough. But the quality of your foods was the bar was set very high.
Thank you.
So I know when you're doing as a personal shopper and a personal cook, you're the right person.
I'm excited about it.
Well, how's the launching going? Are you?
It's actually going quite well. We took about 3.5 weeks off, just total vacation time, and did a little traveling to kind of decompress and let go of the restaurant industry. And I've actually only been doing it about 3 weeks now. I'm going to max out between 15 and 20 clients, families or couples, whoever that want me to cook. And I come into your home and discuss your wants, your needs, your desires. If people are interested in the paleo way of eating, I'm happy to do that. But if they're not, I'm okay with cooking them whatever food they enjoy. Talk with the kids, find out what kind of foods they like or don't like, and then we sit down and plan menus each week. Then I come into their home one day a week and prepare 3 or 4 entrees basically for dinner that they can just come home from work, pop in the oven, and have restaurant quality food in their home.
Well, that's awesome.
At a very reasonable price too. So, and then I will also bake the goodies, breads and things that I'm not eating, but that people, because people still want that. And like I said, I'm here to fill a niche and give people good food whichever way they want it.
Now, what about like seasonally? I talked to some people at the Tahoe Senior Plaza where they have big seasonal parties. And they have like a kitchen up there, as well as I talked to the gliding community, and they have Soaring MV has a kitchen, and they talked about having you there seasonally. Can you change your schedule in the future? You think
Absolutely.
to do that kind of thing? 'Cause
No,
that's
I'm
a lot of work, too.
still doing private catering, again with a kitchen available. I don't have a commercial kitchen any longer because the restaurant is gone. But in people's homes, if they're having a dinner party or certain events, if I have a commercial kitchen available, then that's a matter of scheduling.
I found there's a lot more kitchens out there than I knew about. So they both said, yeah, we were got his card. We know his product from the years of. But anyways, I was telling you about one of my concerns was I have a wife who's on a diet that she's taking too small portions, and she's lost probably 16 pounds, but she's now to a point where her behavior is getting kind of mean. But if she's still losing weight, should you kind of tell her to kind of level off, or how would you do in that case yourself?
It just depends on what. Again, I don't know specifically what she's eating. Again, the paleo approach is not a diet. That's really important. I mean, I've been heavy most of my life, and I've been on probably every kind of diet there was. And diets are a short-term fix kind of thing.
Well, this was just because I'm always saying the word diet because that's the only thing I got things to show in the computer.
Right.
I think they were calling it a solution rather than a diet.
That's the name of Rob's book. Yeah.
And there was also a man named Rob Wolf and I think Doug McGough. There's also a lot of people that had some ideas. And they're talking like just asking for grass-fed meat and just making sure you eat a lot of salad, and then something about sunshine too. I know that didn't make any sense about getting your vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
So it just kind of says to get out there and do some walking too.
Well, the bottom line, it's not. I ran into a lady one time when I first got going, and I had lost quite a bit of weight. I ran into a lady in the supermarket that was one of my customers from the restaurant, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, what have you done?" And when I told her, she was very disappointed. It was like, oh, because I just said, well, I didn't really go into the paleo just specifically. I just, I'm just eating really healthy and I'm exercising. It wasn't a mystery. It wasn't a pill. It wasn't a shot. It wasn't a surgery. It wasn't any big fix. It was just what we all know. It's like eat healthy and exercise, and your body is a miraculous thing that will heal a lot of things. And so, but she was very disappointed that it wasn't like, oh, you didn't get a magic pill or something that it just happened. It's like, no, it's been 8 months that I've been doing it, but it's not. I don't feel like it's a diet because I'm eating very healthy. I'm eating plenty. I don't count calories. I don't. It's a way of life that's just different. You just choose different foods.
Well, we have a scale at home now. It weighs everything, and by the cup. And I think today I was allowed to put in two pairs. I thought she had said a half pair before. Now I'm doing 2 pairs, and so everything's weighting, and it's not really fun.
No, and I don't do that. And it isn't fun.
I know, and it said, but when people were talking about this is helping them with depression, and it was helping them with feeling better, where they don't overexercise now. They just kind of all these little things they're saying on this. and then it'll just limit certain foods. So, I don't know. I think so far you're doing the right thing. Because if you're as a coach of this area, and the program I read yesterday, it had 88,000 heads.
Yeah. No, it's very big. It's very big. I just actually was talking with a gentleman that's got a gym that he uses paleo as his basis, and there's a big convention thing in Texas, and they've got like 20 or 30 different speakers coming. I think he said it's coming up in April. But again, it's one of those things where it's very personal. You have to find what works for you.
Well, I think so too. It's very good. And I think Rob, that you read
Rob
his book,
Wolf, yeah.
he had mentioned something which I thought was very good. If it turned into like a religious type style of image, you'll kill the whole program. He also said that there's some to try it for 30 days.
Right.
And there's been some flack from the vegan people saying, it's not any good, because I kind of saw that in there.
Right.
But he said if it's causing any stress, just try theirs for 30 days, ours for 30 days. But at least try it for 30 days.
That's actually why it worked for me. I read his book, and throughout his book, he says, he goes on and on, try it for 30 days. He just reinforces that throughout the whole book. And I thought, I can do this for 30 days. Well, after 3 days, I had no achiness in my joints after being on my feet on concrete 16 hours a day at the restaurant. So I was sold after just the 3 days, which then gave me the encouragement to continue for the 30 days. And then the weight started coming off, and I just started feeling better all the way around. So.
Well, also people like me probably were giving you compliments, and your wife too.
Oh yeah, no, people noticed.
Because your wife did it way before you did.
She did, yeah.
So I thought, well, she's gonna be in trouble here.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a short break, and we come back. We're gonna talk more about Doug Russell and how he's gonna help a lot of people with weight loss. Thank you very much.
Hey, well now she came down from the mountain tops, and with the music in her hands, she knew she couldn't stop until she let it all out in a certain way. She couldn't understand, but nobody can, so she headed to the east, 'cause the sun was setting west, and she felt that if she ran with it, she'd never catch her breath. Oh, the thing that she loved most was a baby at home who took care of her when she's feeling low. When you're holding me, butterflies flutter in my tummy, and you're kissing me, music in the air and it's around me. Well, yeah, maybe it's the clothes that you're wearing, but baby, believe me, I can't stop staring. No. When I say that I love you, it ain't never gonna stop, 'cause I'm thinking of you every second that I got. I'm trying so hard to keep it inside, 'cause I can't figure out just how to let out. When you're holding me, butterflies flutter in my tummy, and you're kissing me, music in the air and it's around me. Well, yeah, baby, it's the clothes that you're wearing, but baby, believe me, I can't stop staring. No. To me, you're kissing me, music in the air and it surrounds me. Well, yeah, maybe it's the clothes that you're wearing, but baby, believe me, I can't stop staring. No. Oh. And I've walked so far in these worn out shoes, just trying to find a way to make it back to you. Now I'm stuck here singing the blues, and I'm swimming through the liquor only halfway through. You were holding me. me laugh and smile. It brightens up my soul. You're a bear, you're a lion, I'm a bird, I'm a fish. Boy, you're a man, I'm a girl, I'm a wish. Hold me, kiss me, dance me, spin me. Know me, show me, come on, draws me. Feel all this energy and I just can't control. I'm trying to hold back, but you got me on a roll. Getting closer and closer with every beat. Wanna feel your grace sinking to me. Say, please don't run, please don't hide. Oh, please just stay here by my side. You can tell me once and tell me twice, but you know our lives could intertwine. Cause you're a bear, you're a lion, I'm a bird, I'm a fish. Boy, you're a man, I'm a girl, I'm a wish. Hold me, kiss me, dance me, spin me. Know me, show me, come on board, does me. Wanna feel that shock and awe effect. Energy pulsing through my head. When my knees go weak and start to fall. When that music starts, I cannot stop.
Hi, we're back with Doug Russell in Health Talk, and we're talking about a couple of varieties of diets, including the paleo. And I was laughing. You were talking about exercise. I'm not a gym person. I don't feel comfortable being in that environment. But I got hit by a car back in May, and I'm still in physical therapy. And but it's got me exercising at home because I'm doing things with rubber bands and doing the bands, and it's a lot more fun exercising at home than just walking around the block and things like that to keep my joints filled. So, but one thing I liked about this, the paleo diet they were talking about, was how they started feeling better in a short period of time by just keeping a level amount of food and a level amount of exercise. And one guy was even saying something about it kind of affected his life for 6 years until he got on this diet with his family. And are you having similar results too? Are you able to feel better more times with your...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, your energy level definitely changes. I'm not a spring chicken, you know. As you age, your body hurts more and things like that.
I'm older than you.
But that was the biggest motivator. Like I said, when I started with the paleo was I quit hurting as much. I mean, I still get achy. There's no, we all have aches and pains. But just generally, at the end of the day, I mean, you said, I'm sorry if I was grouchy when you came to the restaurant, but.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
No.
I could tell when you were...
But yeah, that exhaustion level, you just get totally worn. And so, with my new venture that I'm doing where I'm cooking privately, there's a whole different level of stress or lack of it. Those hours aren't there. I'm doing what I love, those kind of things. But eating healthy and exercising moderately, you change your lifestyle and it changes your life gradually. It's not something, and you can do it quicker if you want. You can apply yourself more often.
Well, you've had a lot of family responsibilities, as it were. You have a lot of grandkids you've been going to see. That's one thing I'm really proud of you, is you go and help your grandkids.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I've been telling that story for a while.
Five grandbabies, so that's been a lot of fun for us with our kids and our grandkids to be part of their lives. So
yeah. Well, you went, and the last two that I know of have been helping grandbabies. Mm-hmm. So I told that story to somebody actually on this show, and she went and decided to go see her sister have a baby. Good. So anyways, keep up the good work. Everything you do is positive.
Thank you.
But as a personal shopper, when you get to the kitchen, you already pretty much know where everything is because you're in someone else's home.
No, when I go in to do that's what the first step with what I'm doing with my new clients is we schedule a time where I come to your home and basically just do like a little assessment interview, find out what your likes and dislikes are, spices, no spices, hot, not hot, if there's any food allergies, those kind of things.
That's important.
What kind of food you have in your house right now? What kind of foods do you eat all the time? Some people are beef people, some people are chicken and fish. That's what they stock kind of in their home. See what your kitchen is like. I bring in my own cooking utensils.
I like that.
Because it's easier. I know how my pans heat and things like that. And then it's also, I clean up. You come home, you just have food in your fridge, and your kitchen's clean. I haven't used a lot of your utensils or pots and pans.
Too. I used to have a cleaning business, and it was easier to use my own equipment.
Sure. Anyway, then once we do that, then we plan the first week's menu. And typically it's with the family if there's a family involved, if it's a couple. But I want to get everybody's input. And then they pick however many entrees they want me to make for the week. If they want me to do any baking, like I said, my first client, we did some cookies the first week. I did cinnamon rolls the second week. Some bread, 2 different breads both those weeks. So it's in addition to the entrees, they can have any of the baked products that were available through Russell's Mercantile. You know, it's still
Awesome.
I'm still calling it Russell's Mercantile Culinary Services. I don't have the restaurant, I don't have the bakery cafe, but the foods are available privately.
Well, you had the restaurant for a long time, and people know what kind of things they like.
Absolutely.
But also, I was just thinking, I do a lecture series for a lot of the hospitals, and a lot of the doctors are saying they don't have time to shop, and so your service is perfect.
Exactly. I'm actually not shopping for anyone yet, which is okay either way. A lot of my clients prefer, I give them a shopping list. We pick the menus, and then I just put down the ingredients that I need to make sure they have in their home when I come to cook for them. So a lot of the stuff that I might put on their shopping list, they could already have on the shelf, and they don't have to actually buy it. But if they say they order something with a special kind of spice, they want something, you know, a Thai curry or something that we need a special herb or spice, then they make sure and have that on hand before I come in to cook for them.
Well, it's still a pretty new system. You're
Oh yeah,
getting, getting to know everybody. Real personal.
That's the fun of it is we're all being very flexible and we're kind of learning as we go. The other interesting phenomenon, I guess, like I said, I've only got 5 clients on board right now, and as I cook for one, when I go to do another consult with somebody, I mention something. My first client is from Australia, and she wanted me to make her sausage rolls, which is a dish that she had in Australia. And it's basically just a pastry wrap sausage, little pastry thing. I don't even know if it's a sausage roll.
Makes her happy.
And as I've mentioned that now to my other clients that I'm doing, all of them want that. They want me to make those for them. But now they've put a little switch on it where they say, well, can you make it with eggs and onions and cheese with the sausage inside the pastry? And I said, absolutely. Well, it's gone full circle. I went back to my first client who started me on the sausage rolls and told her what my other clients requested. And she said, well, can you make 3/4 of mine regular like I like them and then do some with the eggs and cheese for my boys? So we're sharing those recipes as people come up with ideas. And that's
awesome.
A lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Maybe next time we have you on the show, you could be doing your cookbook.
There you go. One of these days, maybe.
Well, with all those clients, it just sounds like a fun idea.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Well, what's your range? The show is in all over the place, but how far do you go to help people?
Well, like I said, I don't have. I'm pretty primarily in the Valley right now, but again, and I wasn't sure when I started how many people I would be able to actually have on board as clients. And as I've done it, it takes me between 2 and 3 hours per client each week to fix their 3 or 4 entrees. I think that speed will decrease. I'll spend less time as I get more familiar with their kitchens and we get the recipes that they want and like down. So ultimately, I potentially think could do 5 people per day, but I'm only planning on working 4 days a week. Again, because I spent the last 8 years working 6 days a week, 16 hours a day. So I wouldn't call it retired, but it feels almost like that because I have time to do a lot of things that I didn't have time to do before.
Well, back in the day, as it were, you would work your normal day and then you'd go do the farmers markets.
Right.
So that was
Tuesdays and
that was
Wednesdays.
the only time I thought that you were really going to. The one time I was lucky, Doc, and I had heat stroke at one of those markets.
Yeah.
He fed me
Yep,
lemonade to get me
I
back on my
remember.
feet. So I learned that if my air shuts off and I'm in a duck suit, I'm in deep trouble.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was asking your range because I don't want to promote you too much in Tahoe and in Carson City, and then find out that maybe it might be just not far enough, too far.
Primarily right now, but again, if somebody calls me and they want my services and I'm available, like I said, I've got about 10 to 15 slots left is what I'm going to, and once I'm maxed out for that portion of my business, I will.
Then you'll be back to just doing like the weddings and.
Right, or if somebody wants to have a party in their home, they want to have a private party in their home, I will come to their house and create whatever they want to have done for those type of events.
I remember it was about 8 or 9 years ago. I forget exactly, but you had catered a real estate place where people were going through all these new townhouses, and people tore into the hors d'oeuvres like they were starving because they were so good.
Yep.
So we made a point of going to your restaurant after that because if this guy is this good on little
Thank
things, so anyways, that's your reputation. But you can use this for the people who have you as a personal shopper to
Absolutely.
do their parties.
Absolutely.
So you're probably good into the wire this guy down.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of fun. I think I don't think I would have been able to do this new twist on our. I mean, it's kind of like having a restaurant in your home, basically. But I wouldn't necessarily, I think, have the confidence had I not had the 8 years experience of running the Mercantile with the bakery and the cafe.
Well,
So
in this type of thing, is Kim or your other family going to help you on this, or are you on your own?
occasionally, if need be, if I have a larger private party type thing where I need some help, but pretty much on my own.
So, but
The
just-
kids have all moved on. They enjoyed, I think, growing up in the restaurant. You know, we started. I think my youngest was 8 years old when we started the restaurant, and so she's now 17. But they're pretty well done with.
Well, how's your boy doing? Last time I saw him, the youngest one, he had the knee surgery.
Uh-huh.
Is he the one that's lost a lot of weight on his diet?
He's actually he's the one that's doing paleo and doing CrossFit.
CrossFit, the gym?
Uh-huh. Three times a week.
And he's lost how much weight?
a little over 50 pounds.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's just what works for you.
It is. It is. He's like I said, he's exercising a lot more than I am, but that's his choice. He hurts. I don't want to hurt. He comes home and says, "Oh, my legs hurt and this hurts," but it's a good hurt for him, and it's a motivator.
But like we said, what fits for you is
Exactly.
what we're keying on.
Exactly.
Well, where people want to track you down, what's your contact information?
My phone number is area code 775-671-2477. And then I have an email, is lowercase DUG, Russell, RUSSELL, @yahoo.com. And it's not DOUG, it's DUG is the email. Yeah,
You just got my eyes working.
Uh-huh. Little twist on that, too. So.
So, say, like, if I need to go on a diet, I probably should. Where would I start? Where would you tell
Quit
me?
calling it a diet.
I mean, a solution. But
If you want to do paleo, again, I mean, there's all kinds of. The basic concept is eat healthy and exercise. You have to be sold on the fact that you want to believe that grain is not a good thing for you right now. And until you try it to find out if it is or isn't, and that's really, in Rob Wolf's book, that's one of the things he says. He says, try it. He says, I promise you, if you try it and you're really faithful, you will see and feel the difference. And if you don't, then go back to doing whatever works for you. But he says if you will give it 30 days, you will see a remarkable change in how you feel, and the weight will start coming off if that's an issue. There are a lot of people. I have a friend that did this, didn't really have a weight issue, but she had problems with diabetes and asthma, I believe it was, and getting rid of the gluten in her diet. She minimized treatment necessary for those kind of things. So
exactly, I was labeled with diabetes, and I just changed my diet, and in about 6 to 8 months, I was cured again.
Mm-hmm.
So we got about 30 seconds left. Go ahead and say anything you want to say about your new business, your new life, as it were.
Well, it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, I mostly I think I would just like to say thank you to the community and the people at large for the fun 8 years that we had with the Mercantile. I look forward to the 16 to 20 families that I'm going to get to work with personally at this point. And then, like I said, if people have a need for private party catering type things, we're available for that. I guess just a lot of gratitude for everything that we have enjoyed as a family, the blessings that we received at the hands of the community, the opportunity that we've had. You've been a great asset in distributing our leftover goodies to people that have the need, and we got phone calls from people thanking us, for that. So it's just been a lot of fun, and I'm just really, really excited about the new venture and the direction it's going. The people that I'm working with are having a lot of fun with it, and it's a lot less stress, a lot less overhead involved. That was the main motivator to make the change. So someday I want to retire, and this will, I think, facilitate making that happen more realistically than the restaurant was doing. So.
Well, Doug's always been a man to pay it forward. So if I were you and you want someone to take care of you, this is the man I would do. Well, thank you, Beyond Health Talk.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Do appreciate it. It's been Michael Smith for Health Talk, and enjoy. Thank you.
You wrap your arms around me and you hold me oh so close. You kiss me oh so softly as you dig in with your nose. You make me feel just like an angel when you tell me that I'm beautiful. The way you make me laugh and smile.